After Wednesday's late loss, the Cubs find themselves struggling to score in this Crosstown Cup. But it's been smooth sailing for the White Sox here on the north side of town as Chris continued to put up the Ks. Today, Jake Arrieta looks to be the stopper again as the Cubs try to grab a little momentum heading to the All-Star break.
Right now from ABC 7 Chicago. Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC 7.
Welcome live to the greatest city in America and wonderful Wrigley Field on a spectacular day for baseball, where this afternoon it's Game 3 of Round 1 of the Crosstown Cup. For the Cubs, though, it's been more like crosstown and down as they look to salvage the finale of this series against those White Sox before heading to midsummer vacation to appease all their fans. Hi, everybody. Marchino Greco live here at third base. Always great to be with you, especially for the second city rivalry. As usual, we'll kick it upstairs to Len and JD. They'll size up today's pitching matchup for you. Pretty interesting. Jose Quintana against Jake Arrieta. Jake just gets stronger every single outing, while Quintana, the best pitcher in baseball without run support, but the Sox have been getting runs of late. We'll also hear from Joe Madden and a special tribute to both Ernie Banks and Minnie Minoso. But first, boy, what is with this Cubs offense? Scoring one run in the first two games of the series is not going to get it. It's all about pitching and defense, but this is why Joe Madden is here, to carry this young club over these little speed bumps. What really irks the skipper, though, is the implication that players aren't giving their all the time.
We're always talking about somebody raising their level of play. Bothers me. I want that level all the time. I don't want you to have this switch, or some people have on and off switches, others have dimmer switches. Just leave it where it's supposed to be all the time, and then sometimes you may have your 100%, maybe you have all of this, maybe you don't, but you're still going to give that max moment. That's why I can't get caught up in that rhetoric. I don't get it. That's not how I approach the day.
Yeah, that reminds me, I got to get my dimmer switch fixed in a hurry. Well, Jake Arrieta looking to turn things around here on the north side. You're watching Cubs baseball exclusively here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. By DeVry University, different on purpose. By American Family Insurance, insure carefully, dream fearlessly. By Dodge, born Dodge. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
And welcome back live to the friendly confines on just a wonderful summer afternoon. Took us a long time to be able to say that. By the way, Chicago Cubs baseball here on ABC 7 is brought to you by the USO Barbecue and the CATA. Your local new car dealer does more than just sell cars. Next Saturday, July 18th, they're firing up the grill to host the USO Barbecue for the troops' fundraising events in support of local military and their families. Come on out to show your support. To find a USO Barbecue near you and make a donation, visit drivechicago.com or find Drive Chicago on Facebook. Well, you know, we had quite the pitching matchup yesterday. It certainly was hype. John Lester against Chris Sale, and I guess instead of working his way up to 98 during the course of the game, Sale just decided to come out and break the Jukes gun right away. With more on that, let's go back upstairs to JD and Len. Hey, guys.
Hey, Mark, nice to talk to you. And you're right, great day for baseball today. Wind blowing in just ever so slightly. Might be another pitcher's day, and it definitely was yesterday, particularly early on for Chris Sale. But let's talk about John Lester, JD. He had 2 bad innings. Other than that, he was very good.
Yeah, you know, the narrative surrounding John Lester is that it's been a disappointing year for him, and I get that to a degree, but he has really pitched well. Last 10 starts or so, he's been spot on. Got ambushed early yesterday, but other than that, was really, really good. An error cost them late in the ball game, but the game essentially decided early on as they went double, triple, infield pulled in, single by Abreu to score 2 runs and provide that working margin for Chris Sale. After that first inning, John Lester really took control of the game, very efficient, pound the bottom of the strike zone like he typically does. So a solid effort for him yesterday, but unfortunately for John, Chris Sale was on the other side, and Sale was doing yesterday what he's been doing all year long. He punched out 10, and you're right, Mark, he did not ease into it. He came out of the chute throwing BBs, 99 miles an hour out of the gate for Chris Sale. The Cubs hitters overmatched pretty much all afternoon long. It's not just the power fastball. We talk a lot about his slider, but he had an outstanding changeup in the game yesterday. And when he's got all 3 of those pitches working, pretty much no chance for the hitters, and that's why he's an all-star for the 4th consecutive year.
Yeah, he had 10 strikeouts, gave up just 1 run in 7+ innings. So that brings us to today's Cadillac pitching matchup. Left-hander Jose Quintana. I wouldn't say he's underrated according to White Sox fans, but he may be underrated around baseball. This guy's got about a 3.5 ERA, over 100 career starts, and we know about Jake Arrieta.
Yeah, Quintana's just 26 years of age, really knows how to pitch. Run support's been a big issue for him. He's rattled off 8 consecutive quality starts, but he only has 2 wins in that stretch. So, yeah, he's been on a nice roll. Jake Arrieta has been lights out last 5. He's pitched to a 2.02, and he's been really good after a loss.
So 3 walks here in these last 5 starts, so the Cubs may have to be aggressive early. And for Jake Arrieta, 29 years old, made a good case for the All-Star team. He'll probably take the 4 days and have a nice rest, but he gets his 10th win today. That'll tie his career high already.
Yeah, he won 10 one season with Baltimore, got 10 with the Cubs last year. He has been the stopper. Following a loss this year, he's made 8 starts. He's 5-0 in those games with a 2.56 earned run average.
So you obviously don't want to get swept. The Cubs trying to end a 3-game losing streak. They want to go into the break feeling good about themselves. All in all, though, I think Joe Maddon is pretty happy with the way the first half has gone.
Yeah, you know, and Joe knows his club is going through a tough stretch. The Cubs are hitting 206 here in the month of July. They've only hit 5 home runs. That's last in baseball. So, he knows the bats have got to come around some. I'm sure he's thinking as long as his club continues to pitch this well, they're going to win their fair share of games.
Let's get the Mercedes keys to the game as we do wrap up this series and the first half.
Well, yeah, Jake and the Batman for 2 reasons. 1, you get to say Jake and the Batman. And 2, we just told you about Arrieta and how good he has been. He needs to step up today. The Batman refers to Anthony Rizzo. He had gone through a little bit of a downturn, but he's been really good lately. On base 5 times in this series. Be ready to hit. You alluded to it. Quintana hasn't walked anybody over his last 3 starts. Yeah, last time out, he threw strike 1 to 75% of the batters he faced, so be ready to hit.
Did you write that, Jake and the Batman?
Jake and the Batman, yeah.
Sure
I was up all night thinking about that.
I'm sure you were. Mark, on that note, let's send it back to you.
All right, guys, thank you very much. He is a comedy writer supreme. Hey, do you think Ernie and Minnie'd like to be playing in this one? More on Mr. Banks and Minoso coming on with Joe Cool as well. This is Cubs baseball on ABC 7.
Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC 7 is being brought to you by Marvel's Ant-Man, starring Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, Evangeline Lilly, Corey Stoll, Michael Pena, and T.I. Directed by Peyton Reed on July 17th. Heroes don't get any bigger. In theaters and IMAX 3D, July 17th. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way.
Back live at the ballpark. Give me some sunscreen. Wow. Tell you what, today the Cubs are going to be wearing their 1958 uniforms, and every single player is going to be sporting Ernie Banks' number 14. Now, the Sox are going to wear their 58 throwbacks as well. They will wear Minnie Minoso's number 9 when the crosstown shifts to the cell on August 14th. Those are some great-looking shirts right there, and I'm sure they're for sale in the concession stand. You know, with Joe Maddon, it's never just about baseball, right? So in his pregame news conference today, we just had to ask him what he was going to do during the All-Star break.
I just like to do nothing. I'm really good at doing nothing when I get that opportunity. Yeah, I'll do Netflix at night with The Office and watch a movie or two. I will watch the Home Run Derby now that the boys are in it. I will. There's no question I will. And I probably will tune into the game because they will play in the game. So I will. If you have guys involved, you do have a tendency to check in. I really want to see us spread it out. I mean, we need to spread it out to be really good. You can't. KB's not going to be there every night. You got to spread it out, man. The old thing about different bus driver every night. I kind of love that when you have a different guy driving the bus. When a team's going really well, you always talk about every night there's a different hero. That's the kind of stuff you're looking for because you don't want to just lay it on one guy, especially or two guys, especially that inexperienced. So for us to really get this thing done, we got to spread it out.
Yeah, Joe does have a lot of work to do in the second half, but he loves all of it. That's more baseball than I thought. I figured he'd be in the RV drinking beer and doing a little fishing. But anyway, now look, we all know Ernie said let's play 2, and I'm pretty sure that Minnie had to say let's play 5 decades. It's only fitting that during this crosstown that we once again honor Chicago's greatest baseball legends who will never be forgotten.
What a great thrill that was. Just tremendous. And as I was rounding the bases, I was thinking about all the people who have helped me become a Major League Baseball player, and of course playing here at Wrigley Field certainly has been a tremendous asset to my career.
Looking for his first hit, a runner at first base, 2 out. That is a line single to left. Holy cow! Listen to the crowd.
I give my life to the game, and I think the game give me everything I am.
Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. What a day to wrap up the first half. Perfect weather. Blue skies above, just some wispy clouds, winds slightly blowing in. And throwback day as the White Sox and Cubs honor Minnie Minoso and Ernie Banks throughout this season series. The Cubs today all wearing number 14, the 1958 home pinstripes. The White Sox wearing 1950s era road unis. They'll don number 9 to honor Minnie Minoso down on the south side in August. So it'll be Jake Arrieta looking for his 10th win. That would tie a career high, and we haven't even hit the All-Star break yet, although we will in a few hours. And here's the White Sox Southwest starting lineup he'll face. Eaton, Saladino, and Cabrera at the top. Garcia, LaRoche, Ramirez in the middle. LaRoche in for Jose Abreu today. Tyler Flowers has had a good series. So has Carlos Sanchez. And Jose Quintana, left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, will hit ninth.
How about the Cubs defensively? It's brought to you by Toyota. Chris Denorfia, third consecutive start out in left. Fowler center, Soler right. Bryant Castro, Russell Rizzo on the infield. Miguel Montero jammed his thumb, had to come out of the game yesterday. Taylor Teagarden took over, and he will get the start here this afternoon for Jake Arrieta, who has been the man. 9 up, 5 down, a 2.80 ERA. His last 4 starts, he's 3-0 with a 1.17 earned run average. In those 4 starts, he has struck out 25 while walking but 4.
Set the umpires for you. Mike Everett gets the plate. Crew chief Tom Hallion at first. Dan Bellino's at second. And Alfonso Marquez over at third. Cubs have dropped 3 straight after winning 7 of 9. The White Sox have won 4 straight and 9 of their last 11. Here we go. Arrieta to Eaton, who swings and fouls to get us started. First pitch weather brought to you by 4 Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning. For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons. 74 degrees. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
If baseball hadn't been invented, a day like today would have inspired it. This is perfect. Earlier in the week, it was supposed to be like upper 80s with thunderstorms today. We've caught a break.
The 0-2. Eaton swings and misses. Ball gets away from Teagarden. He'll get it to Rizzo. 1 out.
Fastball, changeup, curveball to put away Eaton. So Eaton attacked that first pitch fastball. We saw a lot of that in Arrieta's last start. He tends to be aggressive early. We'll see. And the White Sox are pretty much a free swinging bunch. They don't walk a lot.
Tyler Saladino has started at third, batted second all weekend. He got called up for the first time in his career on Friday, and yesterday in the very first inning, a game-winning RBI triple. Second major league game, first major league hit, extra base hit, RBI, and run, all in 1 inning. Nothing but strikes early from Arrieta.
Yeah, this is a precarious situation for a hitter to fall 2 strikes to Arrieta. Now, so many options for Jake.
Curve is inside, and it's 1-2. Really like these 1958 unis. Slightly off-white color with the blue pinstripes. And the very thin blue piping around the Cubs logo on the chest. Foul tip, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Arrieta.
Yeah, when he gets you down, he generally puts you away. Doesn't let many off the hook. An 0-2 curveball stayed inside. He comes back with the slider, perfectly placed just off the outside edge.
Switch hitting Melky Cabrera, 2 for 7 in the series. A walk, a stolen base, and a run. He's got a 10-game hitting streak. And he looks at a fastball at 96, strike 1.
I love the fact that the players are all going with the old school look with the pants and socks, too.
Yeah. Yep. More on Throwback Day, which has become a major league staple, but it wasn't up until 25 years ago. And I think doing that, and the Cubs did it on every homestand last year, celebrating the 100th birthday of this ballpark. It fits here, doesn't it? You can really envision a game in 1958 today.
Yep.
How about that start for Jake Arrieta? He missed the strike zone twice in the first inning, strikes out the side, and the Cubs are coming up when we return. So far in the series, Fowler, Rizzo, and Bryant. Anthony might have had his best day of the year last game yesterday against Chris Sale, of all people. Soler, Denorfia, Castro occupy the middle. Teagarden, Arrieta, and Russell at the bottom.
Checking on the White Sox, or maybe we won't check in on the White Sox.
We will at some point.
We will eventually, but we're going to play ball first.
Nope. All right, let's play ball. Jose Quintana. Dexter Fowler, first pitch swinging, and he lines one into center. Good start. First hit of the weekend.
Let's check out the White Sox defensively. It's brought to you by Nissan. Well, pretty much the same alignment we've seen each of the first two games of this series, except for at first base, where LaRoche gets a start in place of Abreu, and on the mound where Jose Quintana is the starting pitcher. They've played pretty solid defensively here in this series, especially the Friday game. The young lefty, 4-8, but he's pitched quite well. Run support's been a big issue. 3.69 ERA. He's rattled off 8 consecutive quality starts. Generally does a good job keeping the ball in the ballpark. Although the home run number's up a little bit this year for him.
Big swing and a miss by Anthony Rizzo right after this game. He and Chris Bryant will head to Cincinnati. Home run derby tomorrow. Franklin Font, Cubs coach, will head with him, and he'll throw to Rizzo for the derby. Chris's dad, Mike Bryant, will throw to Chris, and then they'll participate in the big game on Tuesday. Got some late add-ons, and may have more as the day moves along. But Clayton Kershaw is in. Max Scherzer pitching today, so he is unavailable to work Tuesday. American League Hector Santiago replacing Sonny Gray. And Rizzo down 0-2, which hasn't been a huge problem for him. His on-base percentage this year against left-handers, .478. That is unheard of. It's number one among all left-handed batters in a single season. We're only halfway through, but in the last decade, that ball driven the other way, hit well, but for an out.
Yeah, it's been an impressive show to watch him hit. The approach against lefties, the approach when he's down in the count. It's a thing of beauty. Quintana has got a fastball that'll max out around 94, but typically works right around 91, 92 miles an hour. Good curveball. Change up, he'll cut his fastball. As we mentioned in the Mercedes keys to the game, be ready to hit. We saw Fowler attack first pitch. We saw Rizzo attack first pitch.
Fowler at first, one out. And Quintana will check on him. Futures game will happen today in Cincinnati. Cubs represented by Carl Edwards Jr., right-handed pitcher, and catcher Kyle Schwarber. Hit fair past a diving Saladino. Fowler to third. He'll be sent home. He will score. Not sure where the ball is. Is Bryant all the way to third with a triple. Well, Cabrera had some trouble down there in the corner.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be able to cut that ball off before it got all the way to the corner, but I'm guessing that it's slipped under his glove or kicked past him. So we get a look here. A top spin, smash down the line. And Cabrera maybe anticipating that it would kick out to him. Got nothing. Arrieta comes out, sets the tone by striking out the side. The Cubs draw first blood here in the bottom of the first. The struggling offense needed a jump start, and they've gotten it.
So they've flipped the script. Today it's the White Sox bringing their infield in the first. That ball is into left on a broken bat. Jorge Soler knocks in Bryant. 2-0.
And just as Abreu pushed that ground ball through the drawn-in infield softly, this is a cracked bat base hit, muscled into shallow left by Soler. I'd like to see a little more pace going down the first baseline.
Here's DeNorfia. Saladino even with the bag at third. Double play depth up the middle. Ball one. 2-0. So the Cubs had one run in the first two games. 4 batters in. They've scored twice today. Quintana has been that guy for the White Sox the last couple of years. Gets very little run support. I know we both hate to project what a 9-inning game will look like based on the first, but you already mentioned Arrieta.
Right.
If that's the tone.
Well, that's why Robin had the infield pulled in, because Arrieta's pitching for the Cubs today. Those runs are going to be hard to come by, or he expects that runs will be hard to come by. You never know how a game's going to play out.
Yep.
But you make your decisions based on the likelihood of certain events. Fewer than 3 runs of support. Quintana 13 times. That has been the case for him.
Cubs made a move before the game because Miguel Montero, remember, yesterday left the game due to a jammed left thumb. David Ross activated off the concussion DL. And as a result, Mike Baxter had to be optioned to AAA Iowa. So Ross available off the bench today, but I would doubt he would be used unless in an emergency. He feels fine, by the way. The extra week or so here, the All-Star break, just kind of helps him get back to his baseline. But he's been cleared. And will be able to participate if needed. It's Taylor Teagarden behind the plate. 3-2 on Denorfia. Goes the runner, ground ball to second. 4-6-3 double play, and that will end the inning. But the Cubs strike early. They get 2 off Quintana and lead 2-0 after 1. Anniversary of MLB's first ever throwback day. Just kind of feels like we've been doing this forever. That's not the case. These are 1917 replicas that the White Sox wore back in 1990, their final year at the old Comiskey Park. There's a great sportingnews.com piece that I tweeted earlier, and it was very novel the time they did it. And the idea credited to 15-year-old Ken Adams, the son of the White Sox VP Chuck Adams. It was the day after the All-Star game in 1990, which was here at Wrigley Field, and it caught on. Everybody loved it. Fowler coming in, and he'll get Garcia. I think the Orioles did it the following year, and it's become a staple around baseball to honor each franchise's heritage with throwback uniforms.
Used to be teams that have old-timers days. You don't see many of those anymore, but peek back into history with the old unis.
And to follow up on the Cubs unis today, and we got a great look at the progress of the home look from the 19-teens all the way up to current day. And as you see in the late 50s, they had the very current looking Cubs logo, the C with the UBS in the middle. But the biggest difference is that blue outline was very thin at the time. I guess it's like most people, right? Just kind of add a little as you go over the years. Add a little weight to it.
Hardly even noticeable.
I like these White Sox throwbacks. Simple, classic. LaRoche looks like a throwback. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Adam LaRoche is having a tough year. He's always been a slow starter, but he has not really gotten going at all here. So we move into the All-Star break. 225. He's just 4 out of his last 30.
Off the end of the bat, he pops it up. Castro, the only infielder over on that side, really battling the sun and right in front of DeNorfield. He makes the catch.
Hey, Cub fans, let's go. Summer is in full swing, and there's no time like the present to play in a game here at beautiful Wrigley Field. The Phillies, Rockies, Giants, and Brewers kick off the second half here at the friendly confines. Don't wait until the last minute. Secure your seats at Cubs.com. Do it today.
Now, Alexei Ramirez, 5 out of 10 lifetime against Arrieta.
Strike one and expand the game plan against Ramirez.
I don't know about you. I really like this time of the baseball season. There's a swing and a miss. We'll get into that a little more. But the All-Star festivities coming up. Start to get into trade deadline talk. And the pennant race is heating up. 2-0 early. Cubs lead. Is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Starlin Castro hitting 6th in the lineup will lead off the Cubs' second. Scored the only Cubs run yesterday. Tough first half. Been a little better in the second half in his career. Saladino will throw him out. So anyway, I think July, get into mid-July here again.
Yeah,
it's all about baseball.
Yeah, baseball weather, the hockey's done, basketball's done, football's kind of off in the distance. Yeah, this is it. Baseball takes center stage, the Midsummer Classic.
You start to generally separate who's in, who's out, who sells, who buys.
Yeah,
we seem to take on more importance.
We use that metaphor of the baseball season being a marathon, and I don't know much about marathoning, but I'm guessing about the midway point, you get a sense of who the contenders are. The field starts to shake out.
Teagarden looks at a strike. He has homered off Quintana, 2 for 4 in his career. Taylor has 21 career homers, parts now of 8 major league seasons, all in the American League, except for 12 games with the Mets last year, 9, and 3 with the Cubs, not including today. Going to Texas and Baltimore. Bounced foul. I know we've had people tweeting us after, especially after the Montero injury, why is Carl Schwarber not here? When Ross was on the DL. Well, we talked about it when Kyle spent the week here in those American League ballparks. You're not going to bring him up here to sit the bench. That's number one. Until AAA season ends, he could be a bench guy in September, but not now. Secondly, is he ready to catch every day at the big league level? And I think right now the answer is no. He needs a little more experience.
Right.
We don't know the severity yet of the Montero injury, so if he ends up on the DL, we'll find out this week what the Cubs plan to do over the next week or so. But today it's Teagarden, and as we mentioned, in case he's needed, David Ross.
Yeah, and I have not been paying attention down at Iowa. I don't know if Schwarber's been playing any outfield or not. But that, he's such a mature young hitter, and the Cubs have really struggled to score runs. So that would be the other piece of the equation. If you could find at bats for him as an outfielder / part-time catcher at the big league level, maybe there's a fit there in the second half.
And I think the tricky part about it, as I look, he has only caught and DH'd so far this season.
Yeah,
is weighing the needs of the big league team versus his development, right? Because he does need to catch if he wants to be a catcher moving forward.
Yeah,
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I think well, clearly that's the thinking from the organization standpoint, because he hasn't been playing any outfield. But I would be tempted to run him out there and just see how if he was comfortable, how he looked, and whether you thought he could play out there or not, because he would, for me, he would become an option in the second half to fill that role.
And then the other part of it is, if they did that, left field's been really good. Right field, Soler's playing every day. So if you thought about bringing Schwarber up here, the guy, I guess, you talk about maybe losing some time would be Fowler. But those are conversations for later. As Garcia makes the catch.
Don't forget to check out the Cubs blog on abc7.com, brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide agent, serving the area for 37 years. To join the nation, contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side.
Arrieta, 3 for 36 on the year, 2 for 3 in his last start, and he's now 3 for his last 8. And Joe Madden was asked if Schwarber would be a possibility, assuming Montero would be out for any length of time. Joe's quote to reporters today was, "Of course it could be. Right now we have not gotten to that point. Schwarber always a consideration for what we do in the future." got that from Jesse Rogers' report, and we may talk to Jesse after the game. He would be on the field to do a potential post-game interview for us. ESPN 1000. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If Arrieta gets on, it would be Addison Russell. Swing and a miss. Quintana goes 1-2-3 after giving up a couple in the first. Nice sunny day, a little warm in the bleachers. Get those misters out. Stoll, Michael Pena and T.I. directed by Peyton Reed on July 17th. Heroes don't get any bigger. In theaters and IMAX 3D, July 17th. Tyler Flowers has 3 hits and a couple of RBIs this weekend. He has bumped his average from 200 to 235 over his last 16 games. So he gets a start in all 3 this weekend. Former Cub Giovanni Soto on the bench. 1-1.
Yeah, those modern glasses are kind of incongruous with the throwback unis.
And incongruous is incongruous with most baseball broadcasts, but that's what makes you so great. I love the multi-syllabic analysis.
It's like in the movies, there's a thing, right? When there's something that's out of time.
Anachronism?
What is it?
An anachronism?
Yeah, there's another. There's like a very specific movie term.
Oh.
Something happens and it doesn't fit the timeline of the movie.
I'm going to go with anachronism. You think there's a
there's another one. Yeah.
Okay. We got him.
This is abuse. What's going on right here?
7 batters in. They've all been retired. 5 on strikeouts.
Yeah, 5 punch outs and a couple pop ups. No chance.
Sanchez, the second baseman. So this is up to date. been terrific. Jake and the Batman. That's a term you used on our keys to the game.
Remember that show, Jake and the Fat Man, with William Conrad?
I hear Fat Man, I think of the Goose Gossage Round. Take it upstairs to the Fat Man, okay?
Referencing George Steinbrenner.
Yeah. I'm sick of this blankety blank. There's the 2-1.
No,
just foul. I'll tell you, Sanchez with 2 hits similar to that already in this series. That would not have been fair.
Yeah, I said yesterday he'd used up all his karma, but I thought he was going to get another one.
Well, it would have been fair, but it wouldn't have been. Figuratively and literally. Well, Edwin letting everybody know that he was protected.
Yep.
2-2. We move on.
Because they're playing that game down there where they can't flinch. They don't move.
Oh,
hit the chair. That's pretty bold.
3-2. Quintana on deck. I have a feeling that'll show up on a highlight reel. Actually, I'm sure it'll show up in Mark Giangreco's 10 o'clock report tomorrow night, right? It'll be like the kicker at the end. Mark, you have permission. Be careful, though. Sharply hit on the ground to Bryant. 8 up, 8 down for Arrieta. Here's Quintana.
This is the kind of start that we've gotten used to from Arrieta. Did it a bunch last year. Deep into games with no hits.
Continuity, is that the word you're thinking of?
No.
So what I'm getting on Twitter is either anachronism or continuity error. Oh, if you think of it, let me know. You'll think of it like Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. I'll shoot you a text. We'll be floating out in the St. Lawrence River now.
And yes, JD has a cold. He's feeling better, but as you know, with a lot of those deals right at the very end, you sound the worst. But you're on the mend.
Trying to go deep, folks.
So is Jake Arrieta. 2-0 in the third.
ABC7 Eyewitness News in the mornings, weekdays 4:30 to 7 a.m. with Judy Sue and Terrell Brown.
Cubs trying to avoid the sweep and leading early 2-0. Jake Arrieta has given up no base runners through 3. Cubs got 2 off Jose Quintana. Signed originally with the Mets in 06. Released and then signed with the Yankees in 08. And then eventually signed with the White Sox prior to 2012. So this is already his 3rd organization, and it's worked out very nicely for him. His 105th career start. He's had an ERA of below 4 each of his 4 major league campaigns. 1 strike on Addison Russell.
The White Sox bought out some of his arbitration by signing into a 5-year deal covering 2014 through 18 plus 2 option years.
Russell held on appeal. Tom Hallion made the call at first. White Sox have pitched extremely well here as of late. That time he did go. Back-to-back strikeouts for Quintana. But coming into today, the Sox staff had gone 33 innings, allowing 1 run on 15 hits. And at one point had a shutout streak of 30 innings. That ended in the 7th inning yesterday. It was their longest since 1986. Starters with a sub-2 earned run average over the last 11 games. Quintana's already allowed 2. Well, one key to the offense's resurgence that hopefully will come right after the break, and looks like it might be starting today, is Dexter Fowler.
Yeah, well below his norm in terms of batting average and on base.
Toward the hole. Ramirez gets rid of it quickly. Safe at first. He's 2 for 2.
Not much of a chance for Ramirez with Fowler going down the line. He gets rid of it quickly, makes a safe play by trying to bounce it there. You could jump and try to heave it and maybe get a little more on the throw, but you would risk airmailing that throw. Ball kind of died in the grass on him on that bounce, and even with a strong throw, Fowler's probably going to beat it.
Shift against Rizzo. Lined hard to left his first time up. So yesterday he went 2 for 3 with a walk off Chris Sale. Not too many of his teammates were doing much damage.
Yeah, and there might not be a tougher left-hander in the game to hang in there against. With his stuff and the angles that he comes at you.
Almost a premeditated swing there. 2-1. The DeVry University league leaders, 29 games of at least 2 hits, tied for second among all National League players.
3 of those coming in the last 5 games. Took a couple of big swings. Didn't get him. Now he'll go into 2-strike mode.
Tough to run on Quintana with slide step. He's pretty darn quick to the plate. Ventura hoping this recent stretch bodes well after the break. White Sox still in last, although I guess technically tied for 4th with Cleveland. Both teams 3 games under 500. White Sox biggest problem when you look at their record is they're 10 under against their own division. Got to be a lot better against the AL Central. Get back in it. That hit Rizzo 19 times now he's been hit.
Quintana showing some frustration. It's the deal, man. He didn't try to get out of the way. It's always the fear when it's elbow, wrist, hand.
Two on for Chris Bryant. RBI triple in the first. One other Cub rookie has knocked in 50 before the All-Star break. That was Giovanni Soto, 2008. Billy Williams will join us in the 7th. He'll conduct the stretch today. He was a Rookie of the Year, so maybe we can get his thoughts on what it's like for some of these guys their first time around.
Quintana knows the way Arrieta's going along. There's very little room for error now. Down 2, a couple men on with Bryant up there. Critical situation for the left-hander.
Bryant has shown pretty good ability to bounce back. Had a tough day yesterday. 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Key error in that game. So important, isn't it? Be able to bounce back. You're going to have bad days. You may have days that people just wince at and go, oh man, how's he going to bounce back from that? Well, you have to.
Yeah, short memory is key. You see guys walk around the clubhouse with t-shirts that say resilient on it. That's a big part of this game. There's so much failure. We talk about it all the time. You have to learn how to deal with it.
Strike 3. Number 3 to the lefty Quintana. 2 outs.
And Quintana's got right around league average strikeout rate. I think there's some deception in his delivery. A little kind of a short, quick arm stroke. And that fastball that's 91, 92. He's able to slip it by hitters who, I think he was just a little late getting started.
Broken bat, line drive single for Soler in the first as he drove in Bryant. Ryan Braun will replace Matt Holliday on the National League All-Star team. Holliday with the quad injury. Cardinals want to give him the break. One and one. Wild game in Pittsburgh late last night. The Pirates won the game in extras, 14 innings. Andrew McCutchen with the game-ending home run. So Pittsburgh within 3.5 of the St. Louis Cardinals. Old foul.
Yeah, closest anybody's been to the Cardinals since third week of May. The Pirates over the last month played the best baseball of anybody in the game.
Jay Burnett homered last night. Bob LaCourcio, Auto Group, National League Central standings. I'm going to do the quick math, JD, and say no matter what happens today, the Cubs will be in third going into the break.
Good work.
Yep.
Good ciphering.
6.5 up on Cincinnati and 5.5 behind Pittsburgh. Wait, let me. Yeah, no, it's, yep.
And one better than the Mets for that second wild card spot.
Yeah, only one up on the Mets, and they have a 5-3 lead in the 7th over the Diamondbacks. Swing and a miss, so Quintana first and second, one out. He strikes out Bryant and Soler to get out of it. Arrieta back to work. Second time through the White Sox order. First time dominating. 6 strikeouts. 1 ground out. Infield pop. Outfield out in the air.
I'm surprised to see Eaton thinking about a bunt after the way he was abused by Arrieta first time around.
2-0. Missed again.
Time to recalibrate. Find that release point. Find the strike zone.
Eaton from Springfield, Ohio, and he takes a strike to Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. Former Diamondback. Gonna have to ask for that bat.
We need that. Take a look at our Xfinity pitch tracks. He had a legitimate point.
Mike Everett back of the plate. Chopper to short.
No one opened the door. Nice job by Arrieta all the way back from 3-0. He did get a little break on the 3-1, but made a quality pitch there to get Eaton.
And the rookie Saladino.
Hey, that Met game you referenced earlier?
Yes.
Kirk Neuenhuis with 3 home runs and 3 at-bats.
How about that?
I didn't even know he was back with the Mets.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Just a few days ago, he was reacquired by New York. He had been with the Angels.
So let's see. Traded to the Angels late May. That's a base hit. First base runner for the White Sox comes here with 1 out in the 4th after 10 in a row went down to start the game. The Angels designated him for assignment, and then Mets got him back off waivers about a month ago. So Tyler Saladino with the first hit for the visitors. They're out there on the board going, we don't need any numbers today. Jake's pitching. Yeah. Good. Take a break.
Stinking numbers. Saladino can run a little bit. 25 steals and 27 tries at AAA.
Pretty neat. The Cubs honoring Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Everybody wearing number 14. It is odd to see a Cubs pitcher wearing that particular number, though. Really, to see anybody other than Ernie wearing it, but I know he would have gotten such a kick out of it. 1-1.
He 58 was the first of his back-to-back MVP years.
58.
47 home runs that year to lead the league. Cabrera, 279 hitter as a left-handed batter. 60 points better than from the other side. Three of his 4 home runs have come as a left-handed batter. Hit 16 home runs last year for Toronto.
The runner, it looked like.
Saladino worth keeping an eye on, not worth fretting over and losing your concentration with the hitter. Not the way Arrieta's going along here today.
Softly line, caught by DeNorfia.
Hey, Cub fans, let's go. Come out and enjoy the new Budweiser bleachers. There's no experience quite like it. The combination of exciting Cubs baseball and our new bleacher experience will keep the Budweiser bleachers one of the hot spots for entertainment in Chicago. Visit Cubs.com/bleachers to buy tickets and learn more about the available spaces. Always a good time out there. Look at them. They're having a blast.
Well attended today and all weekend. Biggest crowd of the year yesterday. 41,596. Roll toward right, but it'll be picked off by Addison Russell. So the White Sox get on the hit board, but still have not scored today. 2-0 Cubs. Is being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Check out our exciting model lineup by visiting your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer or visit us today at MBUSA.com. Glad to have you with us as the Cubs look to finish the first half on a winning note and go into the break at 47-40. Quintana's 0-1 to DeNorfia. Was popped into left, pretty deep, but very playable for Cabrera. This ball looked playable for a moment, and then it wasn't. Late last night in Pittsburgh.
The pitch, high fly ball to center field. It's hit pretty well toward the wall. Go! Oh my God! Oh my God! Andrew McCutcheon has won it. They're going crazy. The Pirates have won this game. And an incredible game. You can raise the Jolly Roger and call it maybe the best all time in Pittsburgh.
Greg Brown and Steve Blass. What a call.
Good
what
stuff,
a game.
Man.
What a finish.
Yeah, the Cardinals scored one in the top of the ninth to take the lead. And the Pirates tied it in the bottom, obviously. And then McCutcheon with the heroics.
I think they also took the lead in the 12th. 10th. Each team scored a run. Pirates tied it in the 8th, in the 10th, won it in the 14th. 5 strikeouts for Quintana. 2 down. Teagarden, the batter.
Yeah, that's developed into a pretty nice rivalry too, with the Pirates and the Cardinals. Quintana, this is so similar to yesterday's game, where Lester got ambushed early and then settled in. Same thing has happened here for Quintana. Arrieta, like Sale yesterday, dominant throughout.
That is a very quick 1-2-3. Hit hard by Teagarden, but 4 and out. 4 in the books. 2-0 Cubs.
Weeknights at 10 with Ron Majors, Kathy Brock, Cheryl Burton, Jerry Taft, and Mark Giangreco.
JD, did you like my Alan Krzyzewski?
That was good. You nailed it. You've been working on it, and you absolutely nailed it.
Did he do a pretty good job?
Yeah.
I thought he did.
Great
to be with you guys. Thanks
today?
so much. Great, man. Great to be with you, man. What a great day you've got here today, huh?
Beautiful day. This, as JD said, if baseball hadn't been invented before today, you want a sport like it on an afternoon like this. Quick out. Arrieta's been terrific as he gets Adam LaRose. So you were recently in Rome.
Yeah, I was. We were there for the Pope Francis meeting Archbishop Blaise Subich for the first time. It was quite an experience. Always great to be there, of course. Not quite as good as being here at Wrigley, but close to it.
Yeah, people call this a shrine, a cathedral.
There you go.
At St. Peter's Basilica there on St. Peter's Square. They've done a lot of work of construction around there, too. It's looking great right now for tourists.
Maybe we can nickname Joe Madden the Pontiff. The Pontiff of Wrigley Field.
Some might like to.
Want to know the count? Alexei Ramirez. So I think you have like the best shift, right? Late afternoon, you still get some of your day. I know it's tough for Mark and Jim's working the nights
right.
to get out to the ballpark and the like, but. You've been doing that shift for a long time.
Oh, it's been a while. Doing the 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock newscasts Monday through Friday primarily. And you're right. It's a good gig. This is a good gig too, but that's a good gig as well. And no, it's great for being home in the evening with the family. Have 3 kids, most of them growing up now, of course. But
you ever done the morning shift?
Oh, sure. Did it for 10 years. Yeah, going back into the early 1990s. Yeah. Jerry Taft and myself, and then Kathy Brock joined us with Roz Barrett. We were there for a long time.
Yeah, getting up at 2 in the morning doesn't really work for me.
But. No, the rest of the family says, hey, we're not on your schedule. You got to figure this out, right?
Hey, it's noon. Let's go somewhere. I just got home. Tyler Flowers with 2 outs. And quickly 2 strikes. And Jake has been on his game. Flowers not too thrilled maybe with that call. Sanchez on deck.
And got him to chase that slider off the plate last time. That time he goes high heater. It's a tough feeling for a hitter when you fall down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes against a guy like Arrieta. He has so many weapons. Just go into protect mode and hope he makes a mistake. If he makes his pitch, you pretty much have no chance.
Not making many today. That's for
no, he's been spot on.
For the curveball on the ground. A 7 pitch. 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Hang for a few more minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alan Krzyzewski with us. It is 2-0 Cubs in the 5th. Corcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. Cubs lead here in the series finale. 2-0. Got their runs in the opening inning. White Sox winning the first 2 games by a combined 6-1. So the pitching has definitely been better than the offense for the most part this weekend. It'll be pitcher versus pitcher here. Quintana to Arrieta. We're with Alan Krzyzewski, and I see you did a little weather early in your career. Right?
I did, yeah.
Sports.
When I first, the weather? You know, you're willing to do anything. Whenever they say, would you like a job? I said, yeah. Even did a little sports. I was telling JD, did a little AAA ball in Elmira, New York one time. Just called the game. I had no idea what I was doing. You know, seriously.
Join the club. We don't know what we're doing either.
But somehow you fake it, right, along the way. And I remember Joe Pepitone was there that day. Boy, what a story that guy can tell. My goodness. That was after his career, of course, with the Yanks and the Cubs and done at Atlanta.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Arrieta. Well, I'm sure there are some young aspiring broadcasters watching, and I guess the advice I would give them, and you can attest because you just said it, is do everything you can, even if you're bad at it. Talk shows, anchoring, reporting.
That's right. Even if you're bad at it, that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
But I mean, early in your career, is Arrieta.
Oh, there you go.
Pumps one to deep left. Gone. How about that? On an 0-2 offering, his first career home run.
Wow. Having a day on the mound and a day at bat.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And I talked to him very early in the year about his hitting, and I said, "You're going to go deep this year, aren't you?" And he said, "Absolutely." He's been waiting for this one. It's our Toyota home run Cam. He explodes through that Quintana fastball. Good short, compact stroke. Old school uni, pitching the shutout, hitting home runs. Have a day, Jake Arrieta.
First home run as a professional. Never went deep even in the minor leagues. Well, that was a no-doubter. Cabrera basically didn't move on it. Is that the first homer of the weekend? It is, isn't it?
Yep. That's only the 6th home run for the Cubs this month.
Boy, that puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, they just haven't been scoring runs.
What a day they're having today so far.
One, 2 on Addison Russell. Cubs now lead 3-0. Anyway, to get back to the point, Alan, I did a lot of stuff early in my broadcasting career that I wasn't good at and I didn't like.
Right.
But now that I look back, I think all of it, especially the stuff I didn't like, has helped me in my current job.
Isn't it true? Like I tell young people all the time, it's just as important for you to know what you don't like to do as it is to what you're really enjoying. Obviously, eventually, you want to find out what you really enjoy and get a chance to do that full time. But when you're starting out, like you guys, the versatility is a wonderful thing. Somebody gives you an opportunity, you run for it, you grab it, you do the best you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Went away, 3-2.
Yeah, my first gig was in high school, working for the school newspaper, and then working for the little local village newspaper. And one of the very first assignments they gave me was to call a family of there had been like a murder victim somewhere in New Orleans that was related to somebody in our hometown. And I said, "No, I'm not doing that." So yeah, I found out what I couldn't do and didn't want to do early on.
Yeah, absolutely. So 1 out as Russell flies to Eaton. That will bring up Dexter Fowler.
So I'd be happy to write the press release about the upcoming donkey basketball game at the local gymnasium. Give me that.
Give me something uplifting and fun, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, okay, you've had a long career. Stuff breaks at any time of the day. What's the most memorable day or week you've had where all of a sudden breaking news happens, you're without a script, and you just got to go on the fly?
Oh, my goodness. You know, it happens all the time, and now it seems like we're in a cycle where it happens almost every single week. You know, whether it's even most recently, I'm immediately thinking of the tornado that came through Coal City, and then, of course, that we had back in that November tornado, the twisters in Diamond and also down in Washington, Illinois. But it could be anything, you know, whether it's a top public official with a health issue. My goodness, to be here, go way back in time here a little bit to the passing of Mayor Harold Washington and our coverage of that at that time. But that's part of what it's all about, is having that ability to quickly collect your thoughts and collect the information as fast as we can. You want to be right, obviously. You got to be accurate. And then, of course, get it to the people as quickly as possible so they know what's going on.
Fowler strikes out. Yeah, we have somewhat of a script. You know what you're going to do in the open before a game, but we really try to let the game dictate what we do, and you have an idea of what your newscast is going to look like, but you have to always be ready to react, right, and that's where all that experience comes in.
Go with the flow, right.
Yep.
Yep. Sometimes you have something planned and you say, well, I'm throwing that all out. It doesn't make any sense to be talking about that anymore. We've got a bigger story right here.
Anthony Rizzo has lined out and been hit by a pitch. Pops in the shallow left. Cabrera still on the move, gets there. Alan, thanks for dropping by. We enjoyed it.
Guys, pleasure to be with you. Len, JD, thanks so much for
Alan.
having me here. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Sure. You too.
Great weekend here. Enjoy it, everybody.
3-0 Cubs after 5. Arrieta has as many hits today as the White Sox. Home run making it 3-0. And he'll face 8, 9, and 1. Comes his 2-0. It's in there at the knees. Last Cubs pitchers to get to 10 wins before the break. Zambrano and Dempster in 08. Z did it in 07. John Lieber, the Cubs' last 20-game winner. Opposite field should be a couple for Sanchez. And he races into second with a 2-bagger. Leadoff double here in the 6th.
Well, I'll tell you one thing we know for sure. You're not going to put a pull shift on for Sanchez. It's a lot of balls the other way. Well played out there by Denofia. Made it a little closer at second base than I thought he would. But a leadoff double for the White Sox as they try to get a little something going here against Arrieta.
Quintana struck out in the 3rd. His job now is to get that guy to 3rd. Squaring early. And he missed it.
Joe McEwing, third base coach, going to get in his ear a little bit here and maybe tell him, look, if Rizzo's going to play that aggressively, go ahead and pull it back and try to slap it by him.
Yeah, because in the end, if you bunt it right to Rizzo and he gets the guy at 3rd and you end up being the pitcher running at 1st, that's worse than a strikeout.
Yeah, that's going backwards, yeah.
A few shout outs today before the break. Happy birthday to Vito Berti, Westchester, Illinois. So lifelong Cub fan Sonia Rodriguez. Happy birthday. Well, that will get it done. It will not be a sacrifice. Runner at 3rd, 1 out. The Cubs did get the home run ball. Wood delivered it to the dugout. Jason Hamill will
the obligatory fake toss into the stands.
And congrats to James Russell's dad, Jeff Russell, last night inducted into the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame. Had a great ceremony. Jeff was there in Arlington. He went in with Juan Gonzalez.
Igor.
Gonzalez was unable to attend after the death of his mom in Puerto Rico, but Jeff Russell was very touched by it. And I know James very proud of his pop.
Yeah. Jeff made a couple all-star teams, led the league in saves one year.
Also want to send out congrats. A couple of big Cub fans, Lisa McGall and Matt Verdun, on their engagement. Or Verdun. Congrats, Lisa and Matt. That's a strike. 2-1.
Cubs have a 3-run lead. They'll concede a run on a ground ball, so the infield back. That makes Eaton's job a little bit easier. Just try to use the big part of the yard. Middle of the diamond should get them on the board.
Bunted, and that will get the White Sox on the board. They do get Eaton, however, at first. That'll be a sacrifice bunt for him to score Sanchez 3-1.
That's obviously a trade the Cubs are willing to take. That's why they had the infield back. They wanted to trade that. Were willing to trade that run for an out. A little bit surprised they didn't throw one more breaking ball to Quintana in that sequence and just try to punch him out. But he was able to make contact. That allowed Sanchez to move to third, and Sox manufacture a run here in the 6th.
Ground ball right to Russell. Gets Saladino, and the inning comes to an end. Well, Father's Day was a couple of weeks ago, but baseball's about fathers and sons. Jeff Russell, Ranger Hall of Famer.
Be crowned and master the free award-winning game millions are playing. Download MLB.com Home Run Derby free on the App Store and Google Play.
Great day to be outside here at the ballpark. There's Bryant, the All-Star. 1 out of 2 RBI triple and a run in the first. Well, the Astros having a rough time here as of late, and they're in the 9th inning in Tampa Bay, trailing 4-3. Astros have lost 5 straight and 7 of 8. And they've got the Angels right on their heels. LA just a half game back in the American League West. They'll be in Seattle starting in about 20 minutes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Bryant got Quintana the first time, and the last 2 times Quintana's been able to strike him out. Away, 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 and then a cutter under the hands to finish him off. Good job moving the ball east and west.
3-ball strike on Jorge Soler.
Yeah, you talked about the baseball kind of kicking into full gear midsummer with the All-Star game, then the trade deadline, and more focus on the standings as we move into the second half of the season. Tougher to identify the buyers and the sellers too. The White Sox are a great example. A team that a week ago probably everybody thought, well, they're going to be looking to move people for prospects. Now they've had this little surge, and they hold tight. It's really tightened up in the American League East. Red Sox are playing good ball. They came in and played just 5.5 games behind the first place Yankees. Everybody else in that division 3.5 back of New York.
Borderline pitch. Soler not too happy with the call. Back-to-back Ks for Quintana. 8 on the afternoon.
This time it's a breaking pitch, kind of a slurvy breaking ball. Flowers helps to sell it a little bit. Mike Everett has had a fairly generous zone this afternoon.
All right, so Baseball Prospectus has the playoff odds. Take all this however you wish. The playoff percentage for the White Sox, what would you guess? I'll tell you the Cubs, 70.4.
White Sox,
the simulated season.
Single digits.
Yep.
Right.
6.3%.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's the disconnect, right? Because you spent a lot of money in the offseason, came into the season with high expectations. You tried to sell it to your fan base. We're going for it. You've played well, and the fans look at the standings and go, wait a minute, we're not out of it yet. So if you were to start to dump players, say you trade some margin, people are going to be very upset. But a general manager has to be a little more cold-blooded in his analysis and say, well, do we realistically have a chance? And what can I get in return for these assets that are going to set us up for the long run?
Was it 97, the white flag trade?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. Billy Williams coming up in the 7th. 7th inning, 3-1. The Cubs lead the White Sox. Melky Cabrera takes a pitch outside. The ESPN 1000 game summary. Starters have been great. No walks in this game. Cubs got to Quintana early. They added on with the Arrieta home run. Cabrera on that slider found it off himself. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hall of Famer Billy Williams is with us in the booth. What's it like for you to see these old Cub throwbacks and the number 14 on the jersey?
Well, it's great, man. You know, it's another great gesture when it lets you know how much the Cubs and the people appreciate Ernie, because they've been so great for this baseball team. And I think the players, you know, begin to recognize what it's all about here in Chicago. And when I came to the ballpark this morning, I saw a lot of 14s hanging up in the locker, brought back a lot of memory. But it's just another great gesture of a player who performed for so many years here in a baseball uniform.
1 and 2. Here it is. Shallow left. And DeNorfia has it.
I tell you, Arrieta, he's taking it upon himself today.
Yeah.
He fielded a couple
right.
of ground balls. He's hitting home runs. He's striking out people. So this is great. This is great to see this. And it's a big game. We needed this game. We needed him to go out and pitch well.
Right.
And that's like a guy, you know, who's the #1 pitcher. After you lose a couple of baseball games, you know what he got to do. Go out there and get people out. And this is what he's doing. He started right off the bat.
Yeah, just basically telling his guys, hop on my shoulders, I'll take care of you today.
Yeah. Well, you have to do that sometime. You have to do that sometime. But he's throwing the ball good. I think one of the big things he had today is his good slider. Slider's really running. Huh? Got a real good slider.
Yeah.
Fastball, of course. But, you know, he's making pitches. He's not overworked. He's only 7-3 pitches in the game. You know, we're talking really throwing strikes.
1-2 Garcia misses up and in.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's part of his game planning or if it just happened that way, but he had all the strikeouts early and hasn't really been striking that many people out here the last couple innings. It's almost as though he set the tone, and then he's going to pitch to contact a little bit to keep that pitch count down to allow him to pitch deep into the game.
Yeah, he did. He established something the first of the game, you know, by striking people out, as you say. And now, you know, we are in the 6th inning now, and he doesn't have that many pitches. Therefore, he's throwing the contact, letting the guys make the plays. And this is a good pitcher. This is what he got to do. And I think, you know, he's a guy today probably want to stay 9 innings, want to stay in the game. You know, just keep pitching. As long as you're pitching well, stay there. You know. Still throwing 96 miles per hour. Tough pitch. I couldn't hit that. It's too hard.
Oh, you could.
But that's the thing. I mean, there's so many good arms in the game now, man. That we see it. The run scoring is down everywhere.
I tell you, there's a lot of guys throw 96, 97, 98 miles per hour. And you had a few guys back then, you know, like a Gibson, like a Bob Veal. You know, they threw pretty hard, but that was about, I imagine about 3 or 4 guys on the club. But you didn't carry about 10, 12 pitches at the time.
Right.
And you had a couple of guys that throw the ball real good. Of course, you know, the guy pitched for the Dodgers for number 32, Sandy Koufax. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had a pretty good idea.
Yeah, he had a pretty good idea.
Full count on Garcia. This will be number 2. Close at first, 2 outs. So, Billy, I wanted to ask you about Anthony Rizzo because he's been so good against lefties. Did you change your approach against guys like Koufax versus right-handers? Anthony gets closer to the plate, seems to take more of a 2-strike approach.
Well, this is what Anthony does. I didn't change my position in the batter's box. The only thing I did with the left-hander, I was concerned about a slide piece, you know, making me go at the ball on the outside part of the plate. Therefore, I looked to hit the ball to center field or right field, especially with 2 strikes. Now, a left-handed hitter made me more aggressive than a right-handed hitter because I didn't want to get to that point where he threw me a ball and it's tough to hit. So when I walked up to the plate, strangely enough, I looked for breaking balls off a left-hander. And I tried to stay with the ball a little longer. And Rizzo crawls up on the plate. That's his style of hitting. That's what he liked to do, and he's been good at it. He's been good at doing that. But I look middle of plate away and look for breaking balls off of left-handed because I was quick enough on the inside to get to the ball.
You ready to sing, Billy?
Yeah, I'm ready. Come on, guys.
Billy's going to sing?
Yeah.
His grandson's here. Take the headset off.
Cubs Hall of Famer Billy Williams.
Hey, hey! See the players wearing number 14. It's another great gesture. What it means to Ernie Banks, who has been an outstanding player here in Chicago. Cub fans, White Sox fans, along with my grandson, we need your help. Let's sing out loud. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. So it's root for the. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey, hey!
Stretch. Billy Williams, 2 thumbs up. Cubs lead 3-1. Going to add on. By the way, we see Billy just about every homestand. He'll pop in for several of the games, and I just love hearing the old stories about his life here as a Chicago Cub, and the man knows hitting as well as anybody I've ever been around in this game. And he went. Wow. Okay. 10 strikeouts.
4 in a row
for Quintana. 4 in a row, and 5 out of 6 batters have struck out now. You be the judge. Oh,
he's back.
What?
I was calling it a fair ball.
Called it a. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was sitting right on home plate.
You're right. So that is a fair ball. So it'll be 2 unassisted.
So not 4 in a row strikeouts.
Okay.
That's funky. Yeah, it was interesting. Billy, when was his last active year playing? 75
or 6. I'll check it quickly. Teagarden with an opposite field base hit. It was with Oakland.
Yeah. So the point being, it was a long time ago, and he's sitting up here talking about his approach. Not just in any real vague sense, but real specific against lefties. I look breaking ball. I didn't want to deal with that slide piece.
Yep. Yeah, 75 and 76 he was with the A's to finish his career. Over 16 years as a Cub, beginning in '59. Someone tweeted, "Sweet singing Billy Williams." Sounded great. Biggest crowd of the year, 41,688. 124,864 for the entire weekend. Good stuff.
Well, and those crowds with the Cardinals in town were fairly robust as well.
Arrieta homered his last time up. Mercedes-Benz drive of the game. Bang. Jake Arrieta, first major league home run.
Having himself one fine afternoon.
Pushes that one to LaRoche. Sanchez covering. Sack bunt. Jake Arrieta. As Billy said, he's kind of done it all today, hasn't he? Cubs baseball on ABC 7 being brought to you by the USO Barbecue and Nakata CATA, your local new car dealer. There's more than just sell cars. Next Saturday, July 18th, they're firing up the grill to host the USO Barbecue for the troops' fundraising events in support of local military and their families. Come on out and show your support. To find a USO Barbecue near you and make a donation, visit drivechicago.com or find Drive Chicago on Facebook.
You know, I think that bunt by Arrieta there, from Joe Madden's point of view, was more about not wanting Arrieta to run the bases than anything else. Because Joe generally doesn't like to sacrifice, especially with one out, even with his pitchers.
Bounding ball to the shortstop Ramirez. Pretty easy play for Alexei, and that'll end the inning. We will go to the 8th. Arrieta continues on 3-1.
It's your fan cam. America runs on Duncan. But they don't run on Teagarden.
Alexei Ramirez here in the 8th inning. Hey, can I add one thing about Billy?
Yeah.
I thought it was very classy that he said Cubs fans and White Sox fans help me sing. That was great.
He's an inclusive kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the right thing to do this weekend. It's all about Chicago Major League Baseball. And look at that. So these are all the starters. 6 starters in the series. 7 walks, 6 by Rodon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff.
And he didn't give up many hits, so the Cubs weren't able to exploit the walks.
Grounder to Rizzo. There have been a lot of routine outs in this game.
Yeah, and going back to last inning when Madden had Arrieta sacrifice, I think basically he's just saying, okay, big fella, this is your game. I'm not going to do anything to get in the way. He's going to be ready to react if need be. But if I'm Joe Madden right now, I'm leaning heavily on Arrieta.
Last day of the first half. We've lost 3 in a row. You manage this game like it's an elimination game in a lot of ways. Connor Gillespie. Or Flowers. I think Robin's doing the same thing. Their outs are starting to dwindle. Denorfia on the run.
Soft pop-ups, fly balls, lazy, kind of roll over ground balls. The barrel of the White Sox bat has not made contact with the baseball very often here. In on the hands, down towards the end. Lots of swings and misses early.
2 hits, that's it. 2 base runners. Single by Saladino in the 4th, double by Sanchez in the 6th. He has scored the only White Sox run.
So we talked about his inclination to go the other way from the left side of the plate, how he's been hitting the ball to the left.
Look at that.
Let's take a look at Denorfia.
Couldn't even find him on the screen.
I don't know that I've ever seen a left fielder or an outfielder play that shallow, that close to the line for a non-pitcher.
Just carrying on a conversation with Pedro Strop.
That's a DeShazian-like shift right there.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how they used to play me.
Foul. Shout out to longtime Cub fan Marilyn Flores. Thanks for the nice note. Ronald Vermilia, Streeter, Illinois. Bill Zimmer from Varna. Claudine Terrell from Ottumwa, Iowa, checking in. Mary Lou Harker, Oak Lawn. And Danny Mayberry from Metropolis.
How about the little guy that you saw in the parking lot before the game?
Yeah, I forgot his name. He's a White Sox fan. I wish I had written it down. His name was Joey?
Joey Foster or something?
Yeah, he... You're after me, Mr. Casper. Could you mention my name today? And he had a White Sox cap. I said, you got to root for the Cubs, though. And he froze. I said, okay, I'll try to remember. Anyway, 3-1 Cubs late. 7 is being brought to you by DeVry University. Different on purpose. A check of the out-of-town scoreboard. It is brought to you by Dodge. So the Mets, a winner today. They go into the break with a 4-game winning streak. Reds dropped an 8-1 decision at Miami. Twins leading Detroit again 7-1. In the top of the 7th. Game at Target Field.
Yeah, Twinkies one of the surprise teams in the first half. They'll be 49-40 with a win here today.
Former Cub Giovanni Soto is in, and Quintana, his spot did not come up. So it's possible we could see a couple of complete games here, but we're not done yet. 1 strike on Dexter Fowler. Hit hard and into center. Soto wanted that pitch up, but it wasn't up enough. And that's 3 hits today for Fowler.
Well, he's been pining for some at-bats from the right side. There haven't been many to come by, and lately, certainly in this series, 3 left-handed starters for the White Sox, so he's had a chance to groove that right-handed swing a little bit. Hopefully it'll translate to the other side.
Third time Fowler's had 3 hits in a game this season. The last couple had been in April.
So Giovanni Soto is now doing the catching. As you watch him throw the ball back to the mound, he's got a little yippy thing going on. So you got this real funky throwing motion when he returns the ball to the pitcher.
That's foul.
Just basically collapses to his knees and flips it back to the mound. His career with the Cubs, Rookie of the Year in 08. We talked about the RBI numbers. Chris Bryant looks like he's going to challenge that this year.
Center. Fowler is going to try to make third. Here's the throw. Out is the call.
And they're going to take a minute to review this one. A heck of a play by Adam Eaton. Fowler's got the play in front of him, decides to go for it. Let's see. Safe.
Yep. And the Cubs will challenge. Still sure?
Yeah, no. Here we go. They're going to get multiple looks at it and make their best guess. I don't know if there's enough to overturn. That first look at it looked to me like he was safe. Second time looked like he was out. I don't know if they're going to have a look that is conclusive or not.
And the crowd
surprisingly, yeah.
After getting both looks.
The next time we hear a home crowd react like the call is going to go against them will be the first time that we hear that.
Great point by you.
It's kind of fun.
Tell you what, this may be very difficult to overturn because it's hard to tell when the glove actually hits the leg. See, man. Still worth challenging.
Yeah, definitely worth challenging. Yeah, it's a chance to play a little add-on here in the late innings. I mean, you feel very comfortable. 3 outs to get the way Arrieta's going along.
I will say replay has changed the way play-by-play announcers have to call plays like that, because I said the call was out. I didn't say he's out because I knew that Joe would probably challenge it. I should probably just call it based on what we see and then deal with the rest later. But that's the kind of bang-bang play that whatever the call is, you're looking at the other manager, right? Almost immediately to see if he's going to challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all trained to do that now. As soon as the play is called, you look into the dugout.
And yeah, we're going to have a playoff game end like this, where we're going to wait an excruciating 3 or 4 minutes for New York to review the game-deciding call. It's going to happen. And I'm guessing the call will stand. We'll wait to get the official word.
Robin's waiting for the determination, but he's now decided to make a pitching change.
So 1 out, runner at first. Cubs lead 3-1. Pitching change. We'll be back. There's Adam Eaton. Comes down Dexter Fowler at third.
You never want to make the first out of an inning at third base. Dexter peeking back over his shoulder. I don't know if that costs him any real time or not, but there's no need to do that. Once you make the commitment to go, just put your head down and go. Rely on your third base coach to tell you to get down or stand up, depending on what happens behind you.
That sounded like it hit that elbow pad, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm guessing it did. So Zach Putnam into the ball game. His very first pitch, a running fastball, indeed does clip the guard of Chris Bryant. He's on for the second time.
Putnam is a former Cub.
He's got big strikeout numbers, 41 punch-outs in 27 2/3, a 3.90 ERA, has a really good split finger pitch.
5 appearances with the Cubs, 2013. Then with the Indians, Rockies, Cubs, now White Sox. Product of the University of Michigan. First and second, here's Soler. Strike call. official word call stands on that play at third. That simply means there was not enough conclusive evidence to overturn it. Strike three called. So after Soler knocked in a run in the first inning with a base hit, he has struck out the next 3 times. And 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, caught looking the last 2. And Putnam featuring that split finger pitch.
So with Denorfia taking this at bat, this could end Chris Coughlin's consecutive games played streak, which is currently the longest in baseball at 150 games. Going back to July 23rd of last year. That's a strike.
Going on though at the ready.
Ball pretty well hit. Eaton drifting. He's got it, and the inning is over. We will go to the 9th. Cubs 3, White Sox 1. Of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Emilio Bonifacio pinch hitting against Jake Arrieta. 2 career complete games, the last one June 21st in Minnesota. Jason Mott just in case. He's in the bullpen. Pitch count should not get Arrieta. It'll be about base runners if there are any.
Bonifacio not getting much done at the plate this year. Switch hitter. He has struggled from both sides of the plate. You see 151 overall. $146 as a left-handed batter. He's only worked 2 walks all year.
Key hit by pitch, however. In the 8th inning on Friday, he would come around to score the only run of that ball game. As we mentioned that day last year with the Cubs, got off to One of the best starts we had ever seen at the plate. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Swing's a little slow right now, a little long and slow. Having a hard time catching up to 96 from Arrieta. Remember Jose Abreu lurking on the bench for the White Sox. I don't know if he's lurking, but he's in there somewhere.
Bonifacio stole a base in that 8th inning as well. That should not be a threat if he gets on today, because it's a 2-run ball game. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
There's that overly aggressive approach. I mentioned he only walked a couple times all year. That's up out of the strike zone, but Bonifacio tempted, couldn't lay off.
You alluded to this earlier. Jake struck out 6 batters in the first 3 innings. That's his first strikeout since the 3rd. He's been getting a lot of quick outs since.
Yeah, and I think 2 things at play. One, he's pretty sharp cookie, and I think he realizes, but early contact, he's going to be able to pitch deeper into the game. And 2, these White Sox hitters, seeing his stuff early on, said, you know what, we don't want to take pitches, get behind this guy, and have to deal with that slider or curveball with 2 strikes. So they've been pretty aggressive.
The 0-1 to Eaton. Disappearing curveball, and he just got a piece of it. Still 2 strikes on Eaton. J.B. Shuck is on deck in Saladino's spot.
Eaton putting up a pretty good fight here. See what he's going to pull out of his bag of tricks right here. Hasn't thrown many changeups today. Going to try the hook.
Got him on a slider, 92 miles an hour. Nice tight breaking ball on the outside. 2 outs here in the 9th.
Yeah, Shifty-Garden 3 times to get to that backdoor slider. They started the game by striking out the side, now looking to finish it in a similar fashion. Mike Everett's had a fairly generous zone today, and he gave Arrieta a little off the outside corner there.
Here is Shuck. Sac fly on Friday, won the game for the White Sox in the 8th. Oh, 0-2. Cubs win. A complete game two-hitter for Jake Arrieta. What a gem.
What an impressive show that man just put on. Started the game by striking out the side, finishes it striking out the side. A whole lot of really good in between, including a solo home run. Wow, masterful.
Well, you alluded to it in the pregame coverage. He has been the stopper following Cubs losses. He has been particularly good. And he was the man today. Not only did he go the distance and give up 2 hits, but he hit his first career home run.
Yeah, didn't walk a man. He allows 2 base runners all day. Set the tone early. Retired the first 10 men he faced. Just a beautiful job of pitching by Jake Arrieta. He is our Hyundai player of the game. That's a fairly easy call today, boy. It was a one-man show.
And he has tied his career high in wins. Already with 10 on the season. And while he didn't make the All-Star team, he had an All-Star-like first half. I don't think there's any question about it. He will finish the first half with a 2.66 earned run average. And a much-needed victory here as the Cubs snap a 3-game skid. They go 5-5 on this long 10-gamer. Fun day at the ballpark, huh?
Yeah, really, really beautiful weather. Big crowd. People really into it. Cubs able to salvage one of this 3-game set with the White Sox.
2 hours and 18 minutes. It was a pitcher's afternoon. Jesse Rogers has Jake Arrieta down on the field.
Complete game and a home run. Put this one into words.
It's a good way to finish the first half, that's for sure. You know, we came out to start the series a little flat, dropped the first 2. I knew that today I needed to come out, pick us up, and, you know, get as deep as I can and, you know, keep us in the game. And I was able to do that. And, you know, at the plate, just put a good swing on it. You know, I was down 0-2, got a decent pitch to hit, and put it in the seats.
Yeah, I saw your pitching coach probably jump the highest I've ever seen him when you hit that home run. Yeah. You guys work at it, don't you?
We do. I mean, we're out here every day. You know, when we're at home in the cage, on the road, we're in the tunnel taking BP. So we put our time and effort into it. It just goes to show you how tough it is to hit at this level. But, you know, every once in a while, we'll put some good swings on it.
7 games over 500 at the break. Probably couldn't ask for much more.
You know, we're in a good spot. You know, we've had tremendous effort from our starters. Offensively, we scuffled a little bit lately. But, you know, we've got a group of guys on the offensive side that can put together some really impressive stretches. So, you know, everybody will get the rest, get healthy, and be ready for Atlanta.
Congrats, Jake, on a great day.
Thank you.
That's Jake Arrieta. Back to you, Len and JD.
All right, Jesse, good stuff. Thank you. And high five and a hug from Taylor Teagarden. Give him credit. And just before the interview, the chairman, Tom Ricketts, saying, nice job, young man. Cubs win 3-1 the final. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more in a moment.